One last Piers Morgan video with a pro-Palestinian comedian guy. This interview went super viral and it's good memes. Okay, we'll watch this last one. 33 minutes, my dude.
Well, joining me now to discuss the conflict in Israel and Gaza is a TV host and satirist, Bassem Youssef. Bassem, it's great to have you back on the program. I wish it was under different circumstances. First of all, what is your reaction to what happened on October the 7th?
Oh, it was terrible, of course. I mean, we kind of get our news kind of also secondhand because, you know, my wife's family, they live in Gaza. They have cousins and uncles there, and their house also was bombed. We haven't been able to communicate with them for the past 3 days. Communication are lost. So we don't...
For the record, this interview is 8 days old, so about a week and a day ago.
know actually what is the... how are they doing, but you know, we're used to that. I mean, it's just like it's very repetitive. We're used to that. We're used to them being bombed every time and moving from one place to the other. You know, it's just like those Palestinians. They're very dramatic. Israel killing us, but they never die. I mean, they always come back. You know, they're very difficult to kill. Very difficult people to kill. I know because I'm married to one. I tried many times, couldn't kill her.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, there's a dark humor there, and I understand why. Because
no, it's not dark humor. I try to get to her every time, but she uses our kids as human shields. I can never take her out.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. You guys said he is a comedian. Okay, makes more sense. Gotcha. Okay.
Again, I understand the humor, but to be serious...
This guy was called the Egyptian Jon Stewart during the Arab Spring before he had to flee the country for his life.
Bassem, about this. Tonight, there is...
I will be serious. Now, I will be serious. I was watching your interview with Ben Shapiro, and I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I think that Ben Shapiro is one of the smartest people who ever walked this earth. He's very, very smart. I follow him, and I believe everything he said. And when he came on your show, his solution was, and I quote, his solution was that the solution for this is for Israel to annex Gaza and to kill as many son of bitches as possible to make sure that this will never happen again. And anyone...
Did Shapiro say that verbatim? Is that really what he said?
Anyone who called for a ceasefire will be a terrorist sympathizer. So God forbid, I don't want to be labeled as a terrorist sympathizer. So I agree with Ben Shapiro. I think we should kill as many son of bitches as possible.
Well, let me...
So
okay,
far,
but Bassem, let me...
so far, 3,500 people were killed, including 5,000 son of bitches in the bombing of the Baptist hospital as we speak right now. 1/3 of those 3,500 were children. So my question to Ben Shapiro is, how many more son of bitches do we need to kill so Ben Shapiro is happy?
Okay,
because it changes
Bassem,
from 1 year.
It
changes from one. I'm sorry that. Listen, I'm really at a disadvantage here. I'm looking at a camera. I don't see you. I can hear you on my ears.
The reason I'm interrupting
so
is I think you might be...
I
think you're conflating different interviews with Ben Shapiro. He didn't use the phrase "sons of bitches" with me. Let me play to you what he actually said on my show.
He did. Go back to your interview.
No, he didn't. That was another interview. But let me play what he said to me here.
Well, frankly, I don't believe in proportionate response to terrorism. I believe that the way that you stop terrorism is with wildly disproportionate response. That doesn't mean in terms of targeting civilians. It means in terms of killing as many terrorists as humanly possible and allowing them to dictate the terms of engagement by hiding behind civilians in areas that they are supposedly responsible for means that the only option for Israel is to surrender to Hamas's hatred of its own citizens, its willingness to use its own children as human shields. No country worth its salt could ever do that.
Now, that is substantively different to what you said he said, right? He's talking there
but
specifically about Hamas terrorists.
I agree with him. The thing is, the question is, what is a proportionate response? Because it has been different from one tier to another. So if you look to this graph, for example, this is the death of Israeli and Palestinians, and it's changing from 1 year to year. It's like fluctuating like crypto. So my question is today, what is the going rate today for human...
Did you say saturating like crypto?
Fluctuating like crypto. So my
or fluctuating like crypto, I mean.
Question is today, what is the going rate today for human life? I mean, 2014 was a great year for Ben Shapiro. 88 Israelis were died, and there was 2,329 Palestinians killed on the other side. That is one Israeli for 27 Palestinians. That is a very good exchange rate. What I'm saying is, what is the exchange rate for today?
Okay, wait. Do they have an interview at any point in this, or is it all like just the guy memeing hard? Oh, hi, what's up?
Hey, did you watch the Cenk Uygur interview?
Yeah, I sure did. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk to you about it. I noticed a bit of like maybe hypocrisy in his arguments. So
Okay.
he basically said he's against the bombing, right? So he's against Israelis bombing military targets because
Well,
civilians are in the area.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, he said he is in favor of Israel, defending themselves and trying to attack Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
And he proposed a strategy, because he's an expert military strategist, that they bring in their special forces, whatever the fuck that means. And he recognized there'd still be civilian casualties. So, you have a line to Jank, do you not?
Not that much, no. I've talked to him one
Okay.
time on stream before, but
Okay, that's unfortunate. Like, I was wondering if you'd be able to, like, contact him for a debate or something, because I'm just really curious what amount of deaths he finds acceptable, because clearly he does find a certain amount of deaths acceptable, because he proposed a strategy that he would like to see where Israeli special forces come in with their special forces tactics, and target Hamas, but he still recognized there would be.
I think the overall point he's making is he feels like Israel strikes too indiscriminately into Gaza territory, and the civilian casualties could be minimized if the operations were more targeted or done with special forces instead, is what his overall point is.
Yeah, if you actually look at the projections, there are at least estimates where projected civilian casualties would be greater with a ground invasion versus bombing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
There's
would be a point to
of-
bring up. I've heard that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a variety of reasons for that. One of the reasons is it's expected Hamas would encourage civilians to stay there to make it more difficult for the IDF, because they're known to use human shields. They also use chemical weapons, so they're probably going to make like homemade mustard gas or bleach bombs, stuff like that. That's obviously going to kill civilians. IEDs, mines, those also kill civilians, and obviously just unintended, civilians getting shot because, somebody sees something move and they think it's like an enemy target.
Yeah, I got the point. What's
obviously,
I
yeah.
got the point. Okay, so what's so what's the point or whatever?
Well, I was just wondering if you disagreed with any of that, because, like, again, it's weird how he went on and on about how the bombing is horrible and it shouldn't be done, but then he recommended a ground invasion. But there's more.
Well, he didn't. To be
projected
clear, he didn't
civilian
recommend the
casualties.
ground invasion. He recommended like special forces, like targeted operations. That was like his point.
Like, what the fuck does that like?
I don't know. You have to argue with him
there's-
about it, but I think that's his point. I think his point is understandable, right?
No, I don't think it's understandable at all.
Well, you don't understand at all, like what the point he was trying to make was.
Well, I kind of understand the point, but it's just like so remarkably ignorant. Like, what the fuck does he mean by special forces? Like, how is that different than a ground invasion? Like, is he saying that there should be a limited amount of like people with a ground invasion? Like,
He's saying
what
that
does that mean?
a full-on ground invasion with shooting and killing everything or blowing everything up is not good, but special forces should go in and like specially target like military operations and do things to destroy them or something, right?
That's a ground invasion. You're just saying there should be certain troops in the ground invasion.
Well, but special forces implies like more targeted, limited operations rather than a full-scale like military occupation.
I don't know how that implies a more targeted operation, and I like, again, there's going to be civilians mixed in with.
Wait, how do you mean
Hamas.
you don't understand how it implies a more targeted invasion?
How, like, you're just talking about a certain type of like unit.
Yeah, but the
or
types of
units.
units I think tend to specialize in smaller scale invasions, not like we're gonna go invade a whole city as special forces or something in general. Like the scope of the
I
missions
don't
tends to be much
know.
narrower. No?
I don't know how that implies that.
Okay, I might just have no idea what special forces are, so maybe I'm misunderstanding. I don't know.
Like I mean, the regular military can do the same thing that, Delta can do. It's just that, Delta might be able to do it better, or they might have like special training when it comes to breaching or something like that.
I've never heard that in my entire life.
But, like,
I don't. We have a disagreement of fact right now, and I don't know what the actual answer is. But my understanding is the regular military could not do the same thing as like what a special forces team could do. They might work alongside them for a certain thing, but like for instance, when it comes to like killing like Bin Laden in Pakistan, like getting in and out without being detected by Pakistani, the ISI, I forget what they're called, or whatever, and being able to execute that mission as quickly as they did everything, like that was like a mission for like the special forces. I don't know if like just the army could have people that could go in and do that.
Well, the point I'm making is like he's talking about just taking out Hamas. The
Yeah, I know.
regular army would do the same exact thing.
Okay. I'm not here to defend Jenk's point. I don't know if you don't understand. Like his point was that like we could send in like, I'm going to exaggerate a lot. On one end, we could send in, like an army to go blow things up. And on the other end, we could send in like Assassin's Creed to go and like, kill just like the bad guys and then get out basically. Right.
Okay. If that's what he was trying to say by the special forces claim, that's like full on retarded to me.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's basically what he, I think that was the argument he was making. Yeah.
Again, it doesn't make any sense because Hamas uses people as human shields. They're going to tell people to just stay there. There's going to be tons of IEDs, gas bombs being used, shit like that.
Sure, I understand. But that's the
And
argument
it's
for
just
like,
going
let's say
to-
that there are human shields being used in some building that Hamas is operating out of. Like a military approach to that might just be bombing the building, but like special forces soldiers could like sneak into the building, secure civilians, and then kill bad guys while minimizing civilian casualties in a more precise way than what a
They're just going to get blown up. Yeah,
Okay,
they're just going to get blown
that
up.
might happen, but I'm not arguing what would happen. I'm just saying that was Jenk's idea or argument. That was his idea.
Okay, well, I'm just saying it's stupid.
Okay.
Like again, if Hamas has is using human shields, they're just going to blow up the building to kill whatever Israeli special forces there are.
Okay.
They don't give a fuck. They'll kill innocent civilians. So
Sure.
the idea that special forces could come in, somehow magically defuse bombs, save all the civilians, and then get the prettiest girl in the movie at the end. It's just fantasy. So
Sure. I agree, but I'm not. I'm not here to. I can't. That's not my argument. I think it's
Okay.
dumb too. Yeah, but
Okay. I was just wondering if you agreed at all with his take, and I just wanted to talk to you about it. Like, if you ever talk to Jank again and
Mhm.
he's down to debate these issues, I'd be more than happy to debate him.
okay, I'll keep that in mind.
All right. Well, take care, man.
Yep. Bye.